be me. 32, self-proclaimed feminist powerhouse. Whole personality is career first, marriage second, kids, optional accessory to the lifestyle. Always thought if I ever had kids, they'd fit into my schedule, not the other way around. Met him at a mutual friend's barbecue. She's a women's rights fighter too, so I knew he had to be good, unlike all other men. She had a crush on him first, said he was husband material. I laughed. Then I took him. He's nice, quiet, works as a paramedic. Not flashy, but steady job, steady energy. Told my friends he's cute, but not ambitious enough. They laughed and said, perfect, less chance he'll cheat or overshadow you. I didn't know that would be the beginning of my downfall. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for 18 years. Used to say she gave up her life for my dad. I swore I'd never be like her. Told myself I'd lead in any marriage. If I ever had kids, they'd adapt to my career, not the other way around. At that barbecue, I noticed him remembering every kid's name and birthday. Mom swooning over him like he was a rock star. I brushed it off. Thought it was low-stakes charm. Didn't realize it was the skill set that would wreck me later. Fast forward a year. Dating him? Things are comfy. I start hearing from my feminist group about role reversal couples, women in charge, men at home, some girl in our group bragging about her husband being a full-time dad while she runs the world. The idea lodges in my brain like a splinter. We move in together. I start dropping hints about him cutting back his shifts. Ironic, because she had a crush on him first. I swooped in because I figured she'd never actually date a low-ambition guy. Our group thought it was cute. Look at you, turning him into the perfect partner. Looking back, that just meant I was the project and he was the foundation. It'd be so much easier if you stayed home. You'd have more time for the house, the kids, when we have them. He hesitates, says, I like my job. I push harder, make it sound like a progressive dream. It's not quitting, it's reimagining the marriage. I'll be the breadwinner. Finally convinces himself it's noble. For the family? Thinking back, maybe he never really wanted to quit his job. In the beginning, he kept saying, I like my work, I'm good at it. I wore him down over months, guilted him by saying, if you loved me, you'd want to make my life easier. Told him it was our feminist experiment. Made him feel selfish for wanting a career. In reality, I just didn't want him around other women at work. Liked knowing I had control over his schedule, his money, his whole life. Felt safe when everything in his day went through me. Never thought that would be the thing that built his custody case. Truth is, he didn't want to leave work at all. We argued for weeks about it. He said the job gave him purpose, that he liked helping people. I told him that was selfish, that his real purpose was with me and the kids we'd have. Even offered to cut his personal spending if it meant he'd quit. At one point, he said, I feel like you're making all the decisions for me. I laughed and said, that's what leadership looks like. Thought I was being empowering. Really, I was just steamrolling him. We get married. I'm earning all right money as a mid-level marketing manager. Not CEO money, but enough to scrape by if he's not working. Thought it'd feel empowering, but instead, it's stressful. He handles cooking, cleaning, errands, even reminds me to eat. Honestly, he's good at it. I tell my friends, this is what equality looks like. Secretly, I feel like I'm working 2 jobs. One at work, one managing the bills. I ignore that thought. First kid comes along. He's on it. Baby schedules, doctor visits, everything. I'm in and out, taking conference calls, posting working mom selfies. Tell everyone we both share responsibilities. In reality, I barely know the pediatrician's name. By kid number 2, I'm gone more than I'm home. Work trips, networking events, aka wine nights with co-workers. Husband's always with the kids. I'm in group chats telling other women, make him do the work. He's not babysitting, he's parenting. Feel smug, like I cracked the code. Over the years, I stopped noticing little things. Kids tell me about their friends. I forget the names. They mention school projects. I fake interest, but I'm scrolling my phone. Husband's the one helping with homework, packing lunches, driving to soccer. To me, this is normal. I'm the provider. That's my role. Start feeling restless. He's too content, no fire in him. Meanwhile, I'm grinding just to keep us afloat. My feminist friends plant the seed. You could do better. You deserve a man who matches your ambition. I start thinking divorce might be a power move. Also know that mothers always get custody. Figure I can keep the kids, keep the house, keep the image. Plus, not having to split custody means child support from him if he ever works again. Revenge plus ego combo, proper chef's kiss moment. Flashback to 6 months before I filed. Group chat with my feminist friends, sipping wine, all of us talking about useless men. One friend, scared to leave her husband because he's such a good dad. I tell her, "Girl, don't worry, mothers always get custody. You'll get the kids, the house, and if he works, he'll be paying you for years." Sent it with a laughing emoji and a picture of me clinking a champagne glass. Whole group laughed. One typed, "Queen behavior." Felt powerful in the moment. Months later, after I lose custody, someone anonymously emails me a screenshot of that exact chat. No subject line, just, "How's that working out for you?" in the body. Stared at it for an hour before deleting it. Told myself it was probably him or one of his pick-me girlfriends snooping. Refused to believe it was my own words that killed me. I start documenting how absent he is, even though he's not. Take pics of him playing games on his phone. Never mind it's while kids nap. Send them to my group chat as evidence. Plan my strong, independent woman, comeback post in my head, finally file. Tell him it's because I'm not fulfilled and we're on different paths. Expect tears, begging. Instead, he just nods slowly, says, "Okay." That annoys me more than if he fought. A few weeks later, court prep starts. My lawyer is confident. Mothers almost always win. I feel smug walking into the first hearing. Then his lawyer starts laying out evidence like a Netflix true crime doc. School sign-in logs. His name on almost every drop-off and pick-up for years. Medical records with his signature. Teachers and neighbors testifying he's always there. Pictures of him baking with the kids, building science projects, reading bedtime stories. Then comes the stuff I didn't even know he had. School nurse testifies he was the only one who ever responded to emergency calls. Said he ran a mini CPR demo for the PTA after a scare on the playground. Neighbor says he shoveled snow, fixed the car seats, mowed the lawn while I was away on work trips. Then my group chat messages get leaked into evidence, subpoenaed from my phone. Our chat where I joked, "Mothers always get custody." One where I bragged, "He basically raises the kids so I can live my best life." He doesn't even look at me while it's being read. I feel my face burning. I'm blindsided. One of my closest friends from our girly group starts acting weird after I file. Less chatty, less girl power. I thought she was just busy. Find out later she'd been meeting with him for coffee, to check on the kids. She's the one who told him where I was going on work trips, so he could pull attendance records showing I missed every school event. She even testified in court that he's the most present father I've ever seen. I confronted her after the hearing, me. "You're supposed to be my friend." Her. "I'm on the kid's side." Me. "No, you're on his side." She didn't deny it. Walked away saying, "Maybe if you were around more, this wouldn't have happened." I stood there shaking, telling myself she was brainwashed by him. Deep down, hated how much her words sounded like the judge's. He even had voice memos, little recordings of the kids asking, "When's mommy coming home?" Followed by him saying, "She's working late, sweetheart," in the gentlest voice. Judge played them in court and I wanted to crawl out of my skin. All I could think was, why was he saving these? Then I realized he'd been building his case for years. Then the kill shot, my own social media posts. Me saying, being a father is a choice, not an obligation. Me bragging about, he does all the work at home so I can shine. Me telling women, if you earn more, you hold the power. The judge is looking at me like I'm handing him the custody ruling gift wrapped. My lawyer starts sweating. Try to argue, I've been providing financially. Judge asks me point blank, "When was the last time you attended a parent-teacher conference?" Can't remember. "Do you know the name of your youngest child's homeroom teacher?" Mouth opens, no sound comes out. See his lawyer smirk, feels like being skinned alive in slow motion. Final ruling. He gets primary custody, I get visitation every other weekend. And the house? My parents technically gifted it to both of us after the wedding. In court, his lawyer says, in the children's best interest, they should stay in their home. Judge nods like it's obvious. House awarded to him till youngest one turns 18. Deed shows joint tenancy. My parents' gift to us. Best interest trumped who paid. Only women deserve to get biases like this. What the hell? So now I'm paying child support and finding somewhere new to live. Pettiest part? I'd once banned him from changing the living room furniture without consulting me. Made him text me before buying groceries over $50. Even told him what colors he could and couldn't paint the kids' rooms. In court, he mentioned it like it was a casual fact. Judge raised an eyebrow, asked if I treated other adults like this. My lawyer jumped in to change the subject. The ultimate insult, I have to pay him child support. $4,200 a month. Feel my stomach hit the floor. Media picks it up locally. Headline: Full-time dad wins custody battle. Comment section is brutal. Men quoting my old posts with, "How's that working out for you?" Feminist friends go radio silent. Run into our old neighbor outside the grocery store fundraiser. She hugs me like a pity handshake. Neighbor: He's amazing with them. He fixed our stroller in the rain last year while you were on that Asia trip. I correct her. Conference. She nods like that's worse. Neighbor says the school nurse still talks about the night he sat in the ER coloring with our daughter for 4 hours. I try. He loves playing the martyr. Neighbor: Or he just shows up. Then I bump into an old co-worker in the parking lot. She used to roll her eyes at my rants. Now she just says, "He always brought the kids to your office to surprise you." I laugh too loud. Yeah, because he wanted me to look bad. Co-worker: Or look happy. I say they're all being manipulated. Co-worker: Buy pancakes and bedtime stories? Drive away furious, telling myself men stick together. Ignore the part where both of them were women. One texts, "We support you, but we're busy right now." Translation: You're bad optics. Couldn't stand it anymore, invited her to coffee. Halfway in, I drop the act and ask if she's been seeing him. She smirks. Not like that, but he's a good man. Better than you gave him credit for. Me: So you're taking his side? Her: I'm taking the kids' side, and they're happier. I slam my cup down. You think this is all on me? He wanted this. He let me take control. He played the long game. Her: Or maybe you just made it easy for him. But I was just so mad. How could a woman betray a woman? I just thought the truth should come out, she says, like she's the hero of the story. I call her a snake. She says, "No, you just finally met a man you can't control." I leave without finishing my drink, shaking with rage. First visitation. Kids run past me to hug him first. They've picked up new routines, new hobbies, camping, baking, weekend soccer tournaments, things I never did with them. Scroll Instagram later, see photos of him and the kids smiling at the park. I'm not in any of them. See his new girlfriend holding my daughter's hand. First visit, my son asks if they can leave early to get back to dad's. Like my time with them is just an intermission. Think the worst is behind me until the school play. Kids walk out on stage, scanning the crowd. My daughter spots me, smiles, then waves at him first. Crowd awes as he waves back with that calm smile. Felt like I'd been slapped. After the play, another mom says, "Your kids are so lucky to have such a dedicated father." She doesn't even look at me when she says it. Scroll Instagram that night and see the kids' Mother's Day post on his account. I keep it just so I can see the kids, obviously. It's not for me, it's for his new girlfriend. Caption: "Thanks for being there for us every day. Felt like the floor fell out from under me. Decide I'll show up more and pick the next big event." Saturday soccer. Set 3 alarms, still roll in late because I couldn't find the right field. There are 5 identical green fields. I wander to under 10 girls when my kid is under 8, co-ed. Text him, "Where are you?" and he replies with a pinned map like a human GPS. By the time I reach them, halftime is over. I wave, big. My daughter looks happy, then turns back to the huddle where he's tying a kid's cleat. Coach thanks team parents for snacks. I panic because apparently it's our week. New girlfriend opens a cooler with fruit cups and waters labeled with names. I put 2 warm juice boxes on the bench like a consolation prize. Try to impress by shouting "offside" at a random moment. Ref gives me a look. Another mom whispers, "There's no offside at this level." My son scores, runs toward the sideline, arms open. He veers right into his dad's hug because I'm holding my phone up for video. When the team takes a photo, I step forward and ask the coach to retake 3 times. My kid says, "Mom, we have practice drills." Walk back to the parking lot, acting like I'm very busy so nobody sees me blink fast. Post the one picture where I'm centered and caption it, "Soccer Mom Era." Comments from the team moms say, "So glad you could make it this time." This time hits harder than I'll admit. Another time, my youngest calls me by the new girlfriend's name by accident. I laugh it off in front of them, but cry in the car afterward. Rage mixes with a weird emptiness I can't name. Try calling my mom for comfort. She sighs and says, "Maybe you should have thought about this before walking out." Hang up without saying goodbye. Cry in the dark for hours. Tell myself it's the system's fault. It's sexist against ambitious women. But deep down, Something ugly whispers that this is what men go through every day. Ignore it, because if I admit it, I admit I was wrong, all along. Anytime someone tries to talk sense into me, I double down. Decide I'll outwork the narrative, become a PTA mom overnight. RSVP to the curriculum night at 6 p.m. sharp. Arrive at 6:40 with a blazer and a speech about parental engagement. Learn I went to the wrong campus. Our school has 2 buildings. Race across town, slide into a seat as the principal finishes Q&A with any last questions. I raise my hand and ask what grade my daughter is in for math grouping. Room tilts, teacher gently says, she's in the other room with the advanced group right now. Later try to sign up for snack duty, but don't know the Team Snap login. Ask the secretary to just put me down for the visible events. Secretary: visibility isn't the same as involvement. Mumble something about donating a printer. Secretary: we actually need chaperones for the Science Museum at 7 a.m. Friday. Say I have a client call then. Secretary: so, write your email. We'll let the other parent know you're interested. Interested enters my skull like a nail. Tell people men only want kids for leverage. Say he's using them as a weapon to make himself look good. In my head, I frame it as him being manipulative. Never mind that he's literally the one who raised them while I was busy breaking glass ceilings. Months pass. Keep paying child support, watching him thrive. Every dollar feels like a knife twist. Still tell people, this is proof the courts hate women who work. Decide to control the narrative. Go live on Instagram to talk about my unfair custody loss. Tell my followers, the system is sexist against successful women. If I was a man, this wouldn't have happened. Comments flood in, half roasting me, half telling me to log off. One guy says, you literally said in an interview that dads are optional. Someone else posts a split-screen meme of me in 2019. Mothers always win custody, versus me, now. The system is rigged. Close the app, throw my phone on the couch. Convince myself it's just men being bitter online. Ignore that half the comments are from women. Call my mom again, ready to hear men are trash, and hang up smug. Instead, she's quiet for a long time. Mom: you know what I remember most from my marriage? Me: dad being controlling? Mom: no. You falling asleep on my shoulder after school because I was there? I scoff. Say that's nostalgic nonsense. Times have changed. Mom: times change. Children don't. They count minutes, not money. I launch into a speech about patriarchy punishing ambitious women. Mom: you hired a husband to be a nanny, then resented him for being good at it. Me: wow, internalized misogyny much. Mom: you think love is oppression because it asks for your time. She lists stuff I'd forgotten: the daycare, late fees, the missed recitals, the night he took both kids to urgent care while I was at a networking dinner. Mom: he didn't win a case, he lived a case. I accuse her of picking sides. Mom: I'm picking your children. I hang up first so I can pretend I ended the conversation on purpose. Pace my kitchen saying out loud, she doesn't get it, she never had options. Then wonder why my hands won't stop shaking. But no one's buying it anymore. Some days I stare at a blank text to him. Type, I'm sorry. Delete it every time. Months later, see a Facebook post from that same friend. Picture of her and my ex at a school fundraiser, both smiling. Caption, doing what's best for the kids. Comment section full of heart emojis and you two are amazing. Nobody even tags me in it. Realize I've been erased from my own family's public story. Lie awake at night replaying the judge's words. Best interest of the children. Realize I was never in that category. Realize I built my own trap and handed him the key.